Hi again, everybody. Hi again, everybody. This video is sponsored by contribution from Cindy, and here's her story. Dear Ollie, I have two stories for you, but we'll start with mother and send the husbands another time. I am the oldest of 5 kids, all boys, and one of them was adopted when I was about 12. That was also about the time she started taking in foster kids. Yes, always girls. I had my own room for once for only a couple of years when she started piling in 3 and 4 girls into my small room. We had a full basement downstairs for the boys. Growing up, it seemed all I heard was that I'd better come down off my high horse. And my dad was always accusing us of lying all the time and then beating us for things I don't remember doing, or my brothers. They never ate with us, and my mom made Dad's and Uncle Bud's dinner separate and better food than us. My brothers often caught the uncle and her making out in the middle of the night. She eventually divorced Dad and married the uncle, who we were then supposed to call him Dad. We always had funny looking clothes. For the boys, it was off-brand and off-color jeans. I remember the green ones. And for me, it was clothes Grandma made me. They just weren't stylish, and I felt funny wearing them. The adults always had decent clothes and new cars. I remember Bud's Corvette and Mom's '66 turquoise Bonneville convertible. And exotic pets, monkeys all over the place. Spider monkeys, squirrel monkeys, chimps. After the chimp bit a foster girl, she finally got rid of him. But it was okay when the thing came running down the hall after me when I came out of my room. And I'll tell you exactly why that is. Because if your mother was fostering children, they were making money off them. She couldn't have her profit check being bitten by a monkey, could she? You, on the other hand, were a net loss. So you were a problem. We had a family like this in our town. Everybody thought they were so wonderful because they adopted something like 12 kids. Well, it turns out they didn't actually adopt them, that they were all foster children they were making money off of, and they turned out being exposed that they were just wretched, horrible, abusive, narcissistic people. This is something narcissists do. They get foster children in order to make money off them and abuse them sexually, physically, mentally. But what they cannot have is a fucking monkey biting one of their paychecks. I had to punch him to get him away. Well, you know what? Monkeys kill people. Monkeys will freak out and rip your face off. A monkey will fuck you up. It's just dangerous. They also had an alligator, exotic birds, and pricey German shepherds, but no money for clothes, and we got spaghetti made from tomato soup while they ate steaks. They made fun of us, was like a favorite pastime. I was skinny mini, and when I asked for a hope chest one year for my birthday, they gave me a card that said, "I hope you get a chest," and roared with laughter. I figured they were talking about my flat chest at 12. When I graduated at 18, I tried to move to Colorado with some friends. I worked as a waitress and had saved the money, but that only lasted a few months. We couldn't find work. So I came home. She had cleared my room out as if I had never been there and then threw me out shortly after I got back because she found a roach in my ashtray in the basement. She said she would get her foster care license taken away on account of me, but that was okay. But it was okay that the boys were having their way with the girls she brought in. More proof that they were just in it. She's just in it for the money. I told you that's why she got rid of the fucking monkey to begin with, because they're nothing but paychecks, those foster kids. Okay, you get back from Colorado, you got a roach in your freaking ashtray, and she freaks out. Meanwhile, she's got wild monkeys running around and alligators. This is about the paycheck. Told you that. Told you that. All the time, all I had at the time was my car and no job, so she left me homeless. I was living in my car until my boyfriend, who was now my narc husband, got an apartment and we began living together. Shacking up, she called it, and berated me for doing it. Would show up at 7 a.m. to ask, "What's that smell?" Ha ha, as we would smoke one first in the morning with coffee, and never knew she would show up. You know what? You're living on your own. If you want to wake and bake with some coffee, that's on you. You were paying your own bills. Who the fuck is she? Why don't I do this or that? All she did was give unasked for advice, ridicule, and berating. Oh, here's one, here's another one from childhood. Her fave, I think. You're such a lucky little girl. What a joke. She made me give away a dollhouse I had at 5 to some poor kids down the way. I had to pull it I had to pull it over to them in a wagon and give it away because they were less fortunate. She had me walking 5 blocks to the neighborhood grocery to buy baby food jars for my brother when I was only 6 or so. I couldn't carry the bags, they were too heavy. As I sat them down to rest along the way, a bunch of them broke and I was sitting there crying until a neighbor picked me up and took me home. I'll never forget the look they gave her that day as she thanked them profusely. When I was 18, the man I thought was my dad told me he was not my bio father. Well, I was devastated, and when I asked my mom about it at first, she denied it and then said it could have been dad or some guy she got drunk at a party with. And to this day, if the guy's anniversary is in the paper, she sends it to me. Dad said no way I was his, as he was in the Navy at the time. She pointed to the guy out to me in a bar one night. He was the one who played steel guitar in the band we were listening to. My God, fast forward to me at 25, we decided to get the hell out of Illinois and away from her, moving to Arizona. She stood out in the street screaming, "I hope you rot in Arizona." I went back home twice in the 2 years ahead, both trips disastrous. The last one, everyone gathered out on her patio in the morning. Mom is drinking her beer from a coffee cup as usual as she starts passing pics of the daughter I had and gave up for adoption when I was 38. She was born with multiple heart defects. My husband had left me while pregnant for refusing an abortion, so I knew he wouldn't stick around to care for her, for a child like her, and we had no insurance, no money. So she's passing the pics to everyone and they're looking perplexed. Some not even aware I had a second child. I had a teenage daughter at the time. So I went and got some pic of Arizona I brought with me and got the subject changed pronto. The smug look on her face while she was doing that, the gotcha look. They were supposed to drive us around town to look at old places we lived in and stuff, and acted like that was fine with them. They wanted to do that, but then when the time came to do it, they hurried through it and acted like I was a nuisance, wanting to take pictures and all. When we met my brother and his family for lunch one day, she bitched and moaned about having to pay for it all. I told her I'd split the bill with her. She became enraged. She shoved me so hard I lost my balance, and she told me, "I don't need you to pay for anything, Cindy." And the way she snarls my name is always the same. On the trip to the airport for me to leave, she suddenly goes into her gotcha mode. We were talking about something my brother had said, and she shoots, "Well, do you believe everything people say to you, Cindy? Well, do you?" At me. I thought at the moment, I thought a moment and then just said, "Well, I don't expect my brother to lie to me. No." She's getting off. They both are now. They both have the narc satisfaction look. On another trip, I had told my 2 brothers that I was their half sister. It all came about quite innocently with them bragging on us having Cherokee blood in us, so I had to tell them I did not have Cherokee blood. My stupid brother got mad at Mom and spilled the whole thing to her after I told him not to. Then I was accused of gossiping about Mom and Dad and how that's off limits, and now I'm disinherited. Why didn't I invite them to the bar with us that night? And how are we getting And how are we getting drunk and having a gay old time gossiping about them? When my dad, not the uncle, dies, he has recently come into a lot of money. And on the phone, she told me he left it all to me and dragged the word out slowly. He left it all to you. Months later, when I hadn't gotten anything, she acted like she never said that and put Bud on the phone, who gruffly asked, did I want to see the will? I said yes, they sent it, not me or any brothers were in there. In a will dated the day before the man died, he left it all to his ex-wife and his brother who married her. Yeah, that's believable. A few years later, my younger brother, homeless and alcoholic with legal troubles, hangs himself in the woods. The newspaper reported him homeless, and she was livid, calling the paper to read them the riot act. He was not homeless. He was living at the Salvation Army. Mom, that is homeless? She got mileage out of Kurt's death for years, wailing and screaming on the phone how hurt she was, and generally treating the rest of us like we didn't even matter. Kurt suddenly canonized. She will be 80 in a few months, and thank God I only have to deal with her on the phone. But that is bad too. I can be upset for 2 weeks after talking to her. The narc husband wants to hang on for the will. I second in the line for the executor, so I guess I'm back in, but not counting on it. I'd like to tell the old bitch to go fuck herself. I hope she does not leave me something so I can get away from my narc husband, but I hope she does leave me something so I can get away from my narc husband, but I know what you will say, Ollie. You can't count on it. I try to keep calls at about once a month and often ignore her when she calls. I also use her tricks to get away when she turns weird or hateful or tries to bait me. Oh, Mom, the UPS man is here. I gotta go sign for the package and excuse myself. My phone has a lot of static and cuts out on me a lot. LOL. Well, Cindy, your mother's all about the money, as most narcissists are. Like I said, you can't fuck around with a will. They're gonna fuck you over with it. However, you have more power than you think, because the one thing your mother cares about is what other people think of her publicly. I don't know if you saw the video where I talked about obituaries. I don't even think you should be talking to your mother, but if you do, I would let her know, should I not be involved in that will, and I don't expect to be, I'm going to write my own obituary for you, bitch. Send it to the paper, every paper, and they will print it. I'm going to tell everybody the miserable, lying, money-hungry, drunken, alcoholic, fucking whore you are. I'm going to tell everybody what you did to our brother who hung himself. I would also consider writing a memorial obituary. Don't care how long it is, you could still pay for it, put it in the paper, telling the real story of your brother's death in the obituaries in memoriam section. Perhaps on the anniversary of his suicide. It would be very apropos. So your mother doesn't want to be exposed. That's why she calls the newspaper. That's why she was mortified when the neighbor took you home. She's not going to leave. She's going to fuck you out of everything she can. Time to turn the table. If you're going to keep her in your life, because she's going to cut you out of the will either way, I would make it very, very, very clear to her. You try any fuckery with that will, I might even demand you give me what I was supposed to get. You had that guy sign his will on his deathbed the day before. Because either you're going to give me the money now, and if you cut me out later, everybody's going to find about it, because I'm going to write it in your motherfucking obituary. And there won't be a thing you can do about it at that point. You're going to be dead. and I will have the last word about your life. So be smart, bitch. Either give me what was entitled to me now, or you're going to turn over full control of the will now, or you can go fuck yourself, and I will cut you out. That's what you should do. Because I don't think you should be with her anyway. But you're in a bad situation with the husband, which you haven't gotten into anyway after what she's done to her brother. This woman works on manipulation tactics and bully tactics. It's been does nothing but harass you your entire life. Time to end. Next time you talk to mommy dearest, say, you know what? I want what's coming to me. I want what's coming to me. I might even ask for power of attorney over her. You're not going to get that money. You're not going to be nice to her for her to give you that money. She is going to fuck you over. Take control of the situation now. Tell her you either give me what was rightfully mine or give me power of attorney so you cannot change the will. Or when you die, I am going to write your full story in the obituaries and make sure everybody sees it. And I will have the last laugh. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for the story. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. No, Charlene needs a tooth out again. Damn it. Knew that was coming. Please leave any opinions and advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a narcissist you'd like to expose or a topic you'd like me to cover, you know what to do with my PayPal link, which supports the channel, and my email link to send your stories in. And remember, when you do send your story, please let me know at the top whether it's with contribution or not and what name you'd like to go by. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon.